I would say that's like shocking, but it's actually not. It's not that surprising because there are these systems that we invest a lot of time in, succession planning being one, which allows you to work ahead, that are extremely advantageous to try to figure out how to drive diversity and work ahead with those candidates. And we'll talk about that. But also it gets you talking about what the organization needs, not now, but in the future, identifying those competencies. And then you can start to think about people who are ready now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now for those top positions. But it also allows you to start identifying the things that are going to be important in people middle of the organization and further down. And so as we talked through this, we realized that, we have clients who are at 70 to 80% internal promotion and hiring rate for their senior positions. We have clients who are at 20 to 25%. And for those in the lower percentages, we realize that they've been struggling with a supply chain for a lot of their businesses all along, but this is the human talent supply chain. Their ability to kind of identify what makes people potentially leaders in the organization early in their careers, to invest in them, to develop them and spend their dollars in ways that are most effective, but also send a signal that we have plans for you to keep them around. It's the way to drive a supply chain internally for talent, so you don't have to go to the outside market and be subject to market pricing, market availability, which we all know has been much harder. And so we started talking about this concept, and then that kind of began a series of conversations into this one, which is how do we become more systematic and smart about the tools we already have available to us and start to build a more resilient internal mechanism for developing talent so we're not so beholden to the outside world. So on the next slide, we just literally said, supply chain, people are talking about succession planning on a regular conversation, and they're putting the time into it, but they're not collecting the data on a year-by-year basis. They're not able to analyze it over time. And so we needed to just get smarter about the planning process for people who are going to lead the organization in a way that's consistent with the planning that goes into a strategy, a marketing plan, a sales plan, rollout of a new IT system. All of that is forward-looking. It has a lot of components to it. And is systematic in its approach. We need to be more systematic about this approach.